Om. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratang Karunamayam. Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Shrutismriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pada Shankaram Lokashankaram. Namastri Shankarananda Gurupadambu Janmane Savila Samaha Moha Grahak Grasaika Karmane. Yesterday, we were studying about the Nirguna Brahma Upasana. So, no many slokas were given. How Nirguna Brahma Upasana will lead us to liberation eventually. And Upasana Pakvata, that is maturity or fructification of Upasana. Upasana culminates in Jnanam. That is Atma Vichara, Mahavakya Vichara. That gives Jnana. So, Nirgunopasana becomes Yogyata Prapti for inquiry. Through inquiry, Jnana, that Jnana gives Moksha. And this can happen in this life, at the time of death, after death, or in Brahmaloka. Anytime it can happen, depending upon the density of our vasanas and karma palas. Whatever karma is stored, maximum stored, so it may take some time. So yesterday we started this Atma Bodha, that Atma only speaks. Atma Gita. Atma Purana. Same meaning that Nirguna Brahmopasana has to be done, that eventually leads you to Brahman. Same thought has been said what? In Atma Purana, Atma Gita, written by Shankaranandaji, Guru of Vidyaranyamati. So, I am Arthaha Atma Gitayam. In the book called Atma Gita, Spashtam Udirataha. Very clearly mentioned there. What? Vichara akshamaha atmanam upasita iti santatam. Always, one who is not capable of inquiry, this we saw yoga, Sankhya is inquiry. To inquire, I need very subtle intellect. So if I don't have that subtle intellect, I can't do inquiry. Discrimination, sharpness. So if I am not fit for inquiry, I must do upasana. Brahma upasana, Nirguna Brahma upasana. Who said this? In Atma Gita. Who says? Atma only says. Brahman speaks to us. So, and the book is as the Brahma speaks. What is that now? The self says, Atma says to us. What he says? Sakshat kartuma shaktopi chintayen mamasankitaha kalena anubhava rudho bhaveyam phalato dhruvam. These are all quotations of Atma Purana one. So, Shankarananda is giving us instructions. Who is Acharya giving us instruction now? Nirguna Brahma only. Atma, Nirguna Brahma is giving us instructions. So the Brahman is speaking now. As what? Atman only. The Brahman is addressing us. What he says? Sakshat kartum ashaktahapi. If you are not able to get that ultimate knowledge about me, that Brahma, Aham Brahmasmi Jnanam. Meaning what? Aham Brahmasmi is a fact for me. No more a theory. It's a realization for me. So if I'm unable to gain aparoksha jnanam directly through vichara, then what man says, the Atma says, Sakshat kartum ashaktapi chintayet. Even though you are not able to convince that you are Brahman, so you practice upasana, imagining that I am Brahman. So one is not convinced that one is Brahman yet. So that Atma Brahman says, even though you are not convinced that you are Brahman, don't worry. You meditate without any hesitation, without any reservation, without any doubt, without any inhibition. What? I am Brahman. Meditate. But I am not convinced. Doesn't matter. So Shruti Mata says, Shruti said that you are Brahman. So meditate that as though you are Brahman. Ashankitaha, without any doubt. No doubt should be entertained regarding Brahman. I am Brahman. So kalena anubhava arudha. In the course of time, ashankitaha, without any doubt, you will realize the truth. I am the self. I may not know, I may not agree, I may not get convinced. Vidyarmani says, don't worry. Atma Purana, the Atman says, self says, don't worry, just start doing upasana. Repeat it. So the repetition of japa, Aham Brahmasmi, will generate punya. It removes all obstacles. When it will happen? In this life, time of death, or after death in Brahmaloka. Anytime the truth can be revealed. So Brahman says, you will know me. See? Kalena anubhava arudha bhaveyam dhruvam. There is absolutely no doubt about it. So what is the indication now? Start doing upasana. Don't say, how can, I'm a Mahapapi, I am a very, very sinner, so many sins are complete, I'm done in my life. How can I say I am Brahman? So many faults are there. They are there in the mind. I am Brahman, full stop. So the japa, that thought itself, when you do upasana, it produces punya. That punya destroys all the karmas. One example is given, so beautiful example. In 53rd verse. Example is, Yataghadha nidher labdhau nopaya kananam vina mallabhe pitatha swatma chintam muktva nacha paraha. Here he says, Yatha, just as Aghadha nidhehe labdhau. Deeply, somewhere in the deep hidden earth. Aghadha nidhehe. In order to, there is some treasure deeply hidden in the earth. How to get the treasure out? Na upayaha khananam vina. Khananam vina. Other than digging, there is no other upaya to get the treasure which is hidden in the deep, very deep layers of earth. Deeply hidden in there, in the earth. So some treasure is there. So khananam, start digging it. Like a bore well. So how many feet we have to go down? Go down. As long as the water is not found, keep on digging. Till we find water inside, we keep digging it. Sometimes stones may come and sometimes borewell will continue to dig in through the stone also, break the stones also. That will come next sloka. So till we find water, we keep digging. Our treasure is there, some treasure is there, we keep digging till we find the treasure. So Atman says, the Atma Purana, the Atma says, Mallabhe api. Similarly, even to gain the knowledge about me, Matlabaha, in order to gain me, that is self-realization. Swatma chinta muktvana japaraha. There is no other way other than self-introspection, meditation, inquiry. Swatma chintam, the continuous meditation on one's own self. There is no other way. So how long Nirguna Brahma Upasana should do? Till we find the truth. Like, digging also varies from area to area. Similarly, from person to person, digging time is changed. Somebody who is born, lot of punya karma, lot of tapasya did in last life, he is born. Just like that, within few years of little sadhana, he will realize the truth. Somebody started now, just now only, so it will take a lot of time. So how long upasana should continue? The time differs from person to person, individual to individual, depending upon their karma. But what is the purpose of all this sadhana? Everyone should discover Aham Brahmasmi. Like, in a general ward in hospital. So many are lying down patients. Each patient has his own disease or her own disease. Symptoms are different. Medication is different. Duration is different to get well. But what is the lakshya of everybody? to get perfect health and get out of the hospital. So, Swatma Chinta Vina, there is no other way other than meditation on self, upasana on self. So, Brahman says, in order to find me, there is no other way other than Swatma Chinta. So, स्वात्म चिंता के अलावा और कोई मार्ग नहीं है. स्वात्म चिंता means what here? Nirguna Brahma Upasana here refers to. Chinta is Upasana. Swatma is Nirguna Brahma only. One's own self, which is Nirguna Brahma. Therefore, sadhana alone is the mark. So what is the Atma says? Don't worry, you will find me. Continue. Continue your tapasya with positive hope, with the positivity. So this Khananam example is given, digging example is given. Now what is a question means what? What is the digging? Where is the area? What are the obstacles? All those things are told in the next sloka. Dehopalamapakritya buddhi kruddhalakat punaha khatva manobhuvam bhuyo gruhniyan mam nidhim puman. Buddhi kuddhalakat deha upalamapakrutya Deha upalam. Deha upalam means the rock of the body. Like what is it now? Example, let us see now. So the equations are Darshtantam illustrated. Example is what? Khananam. Digging is required. So now here in the case, what is the digging earth here now? Earth means what? There the earth is there, digging, treasure is there, and then axe or something is required to dig. Crowbar is required. So similarly, what is required? What is the crowbar or a pickaxe here? What is earth here? In which the treasure is hidden? What is the treasure of my own self? So what is the earth here? So comparison, example is given now. So where it is to be dug? What is the area to be dug? What is the crowbar? Pickaxe otherwise. And what are the rocks covering Brahman? Because rock example is given. Rocks are there. Rocks are to be there covering the Brahman. So here it says, here, Deha Upalam Apakritya. Rock is Deha. Katva Manobhuvam. First one is Katva Manobhuvam. Manobhuvam means that, here mind is earth. Mind is compared to earth. There earth is covering the treasure. Here mind is covering the truth. There under the earth, treasure is there. Here within the mind, Atman is present. Antakarana ke bhitar andar, Paramatma is residing. So there the earth is there. Within the earth, treasure is hidden. Here earth means mind. Within the mind, the treasure is. What is treasure here? Atma. And some rocks also cover the Atma. Some rocks also cover the treasure. What are the rocks here? Deha. Deha Upalam. Upalam means rock of the body. Deha Upalam means rock of the body. Apakritya. Deha Upalam Apakritya. So first rock has to be removed. So hard body is a rock like. That rock has to be removed. Not to be killed, not commit suicide. identification with the body to be dropped. That's the meaning. So, Dehopalam apakritya buddhi kuddhalakat punaha. And what is the crowbar here? Buddhi is compared to crowbar or pickaxe or anything you can take digging instrument. So, to buddhi sukshmaya sukshmadarshibhi. Analysis, buddhi inquiry, sukshmaya sukshmadarshibhi. The truth also is subtler than the subtlest. So we need sukshma buddhi, subtle intellect to go deep into that inquiry and realize the truth. So buddhi is required. There crowbar is required, here buddhi is required. There some digging instrument is crowbar, here knowing instrument is what? Buddhi. So with the subtle buddhi, sukshma buddhi, we must remove the rock called body. How? Drop the identification with the body. Then go deep into the mind. So in this manner, we have to dig the mind. Mind is ground. Dig the ground. How long? Again and again, till we find the treasure. What is the goal of every patient in the hospital? To get back to health and get out of the hospital. So what is the purpose of digging? To find the treasure. What is the treasure ultimately? Aham Brahmasmi. That is Anubhav, is a treasure. So till we find that I am Brahman, we find that we are Brahman, each one of us. Keep on digging, he says. So, Khatva Manobhom Bhuyaha, again and again, Gruhniyatma Prithim. You can find out me, the treasure inside me. Inside your own heart, I am residing. You can find me. Who says? Atma says. Very important sloka is coming, 155th sloka. Very important. Anubhutera bhavepi brahmasmityeva chintyatam apyasat prapyate dhyanat nityaptam brahma kim punaha. Now we can say that, I am not convinced, or I don't know, I am repeating, I am doing this japa. I am not getting realization. So, anubhutehe abhave api. Right now, I don't know, I am not getting that experience that I am Brahman. I am not realized that I am Brahman. I am not convinced. How can I say I am Brahman when I don't know that I am Brahman? It's like, how can I say my name? I am so and so when I don't know who I am. Similarly, when there's no realization, how can I say I am Brahman? Here, Atma says, Anubhuter abhave api, even though there is no Anubhava. If you are not convinced that you are Brahman, that you are not convinced, there is no problem. You can still practice, I am Brahman. You can tell I am Brahman. Proudly you can declare, I am Brahman. Meditate, I am Brahman. And what is Aham Brahmasmi? Veda mantra. So I continuously repeat that mantra, Aham Brahmasmi. That gives me tremendous punya. It purifies my heart and it leads me to Nirguna Brahma Upasana. That is right. It leads me to Nirguna Brahma Jnanam eventually. So in the beginning, what I am unable to do. So he says, don't worry, do japa of Aham Brahmasmi. Chant the mantra, Aham Brahmasmi. Close your eyes and think, I am Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. Do it, he says. You will get anubhav immediately. I mean, eventually, sorry. Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya also says, when you simply repeat it, eventually it will give you phalam. Example is giving. What? What the example is giving? Very good example. See, asat prapyate, api asat prapyate, dhyanat. Aptam Brahma kim punah. See, by upasana, you are attaining various gods. Who are actually gods? Asat. They are not really real. They are within the Prakriti. So therefore, non-existing Devata, Asat, api Asat prapyate dhyanat. From the standpoint of Brahman, nothing is existing, no? So Devatas also non-existing actually. Even my existence also is actually not real. As for name and form and individual jiva, that is myth also. So Vidyar Muni says, Asat Devata is attained by Upasana, which is not existing, not permanent actually. They are only temporary. They are attained. So why can't the already existing Brahman be discovered by Upasana? It's already Brahman, no? So non-existing Devatas are realized through Upasana. Existing Brahma Vastu you are, can't you know? He says. You can easily know because you are your own reality. It is your own self. How can you say that you don't know yourself? So non-existing Devatas are attained. Asad prapyate. Api. Asadapi prapyate. The seeker who is meditating on a Devata, he attains Devata. Is Devata real? No. They are also within the creation only. No absolute standpoint of it, they are also not real. So you are able to attain those gods by upasana. Can't you attain yourself, which is real, which is always there? You can. You can. Anatma buddhi shaithilyam phalam dhyanad dine dine pashyannapi na chedhyayet koparosmat pashurvada. Anatma buddhi shaitalyam phalam dhyanat dine dine dhyanat. Dine dine dhyanat. Day by day, by practicing this Brahma Upasana, Nirguna Brahma Upasana. Anatma Buddhi Shaitanya. This Anatma Buddhi is destroyed because of irregular meditation. What Anatma Buddhi? Deha Bhavana. I am the body, I am the limited individual. These are bhavanas, anatma bhavana. So every day, sometime, regularly, whatever is, sometime intensified sadhana for some time, and then later on, continuously remembering that non-nirguna Brahma, I am Brahman thought. Dine dine, day by day when you practice, anatma buddhim shaitalyam. This anatma buddhi is there, no? It leads to a weakening of the body identification. Avi, what is the idea? Anatma is Atma, body is Atma, we consider. So, Pashyannapi nachedhyayet, dine dine Pashyannapi. So, one who is able to see this weakening of identification with the body because of his regular meditation on Nirguna Brahma, na dhyayet chet, he is knowing very well this is the result and is able to see it. He doesn't continue to meditate. He doesn't meditate properly. For what to talk about him then? He says, Ko aparaha asmat pashurvada. Tell me. He is equal to an animal only. Is there any difference between animal and him? So, what is the benefit of Nirguna Brahma Upasana? You can say yourself. Dine dine. What? Our hold, our thought on this body, mind, intellect complex gets reduced. Our identification gets reduced. This everybody can see it. Some vairagya is developed towards the body also. So you can dine dine pashyannapi, you can see yourself. So what is the benefit of Nirguna Brahma Upasana in the beginning, before we get Jnanam, etc.? The body identification is reduced. Anatma abhimana is reduced. So my or more torutai maya. Me and mine, you and yours is maya. That maya is reduced. So seeing very well, there is a identification is reduced. See, knowing the benefit of it, somebody still not doing the sadhana. What to call him then? What is the difference between him and a pashu? There is no difference between him and an animal. So what Vijnana Muni says is, when we start doing sadhana, we can see it ourselves, our own identification with the body, with the family, with the sampatti, with the outer world, identification gets reduced. We ourselves can see the mind is not running, mind is peaceful, etc. And eventually, Dehabhimana will be destroyed completely. So I discover myself as a new, as a consciousness independent of the body. Dehabhimanam vidhvasya dhyanat atmanamadvayam pashyanmartyo mruto bhutva yatra brahma samashnute dehabhimanam vidhvasya. So after destroying the identity or identification that the body is Atma, Dehabhimana Vidhvasya Dhyanat, Atmanam Advayam Pashyan. So because of meditation, Dehabhimana is reduced, dropped, And because of meditation, Advayam Atmanam Pashyan. He is able to recognize that non-dual Atma. He is able to feel, oh, I am this consciousness, I am one with totality. Pashyan, Maya Apashyan, Martyaha, individual soul, Jiva, Amruto Bhutva, becoming immortal, and he realizes Brahman, Atra Samushnate. In the very life itself, same body, he realizes Aham Brahmasmi. So in the previous sloka, the intelligent Brahma, unintelligent fellow doesn't see, even seeing the benefit of Upasana, he is not practicing it. No difference between him and Pashu. But somebody sees the benefit and is practicing, that Upasana slowly taking him to Vichara, inquiry. Through Vichara, Jnanam. Then Jnana gives him moksha. So Pashyan, Marcha, Amruto Bhutva, Adhyanat, Atmanam Advayam Pashyan. Because of this Upasana, meditation, seeing that the non-dual Atma, Martyaha, more mortal, Amruto Bhutva, he becomes immortal, and he realizes Brahman. So what is it ultimately? Says we have to continue our sadhana. So when ahankara, mamakara is reduced, antakarna becomes purer. Then eligibility for upasana, jnana increases. Through inquiry, I get jnanam. Then through jnanam, we get aham brahmasmi jnanam. Realization. That's those steps. So thus, the last but one sloka we have seen. So that is the power of upasana. Nirguna Brahma upasana. Dhyanadipamimam samyak paramrushati yo naraha mukta samshaya evayam dhyayate brahma santatam. So, imam dhyanadipam samyak paramrushati yo naraha. The human being, the person, whoever meditates on this Dhyanadipa Prakarana, 9th chapter, regularly, Paramrshati, studies, thinks, meditates on that, on the essence of this Dhyanadipa Prakarana, Mrshati. One who contemplates on this, Paramrshati, Yo Naraha, whoever he be, he who, any human being, he is Mukta Samshayaha Eva Ayam. He becomes freed from all doubts. Ayam Brahma Sanatanam Dhyayati. And then he continues to meditate that attributeless Brahman. So thus continuously remembering Brahman, meditating Brahman, he becomes what? Jivan Mukta Purusha. So this is the beautiful chapter, 9th chapter. So in 9th chapter, what we learned? What is Upasana Balam? How Nirguna Brahma Upasana to be practiced? How this will lead us to inquiry and jnana? How that jnana liberates me? This is the procedure. So with this, what is that? We have completed 9th chapter by the grace of Pujya Gurudev and Guru Parampara. This is a very important chapter. In this chapter we learned what is Samvadi Brahma, beneficial error. Brahmata upastiyatu muchyate. In the first sloka itself it says, like a Samvadi Brahma, one who meditates on Brahman, Nirguna Brahma, he liberates. That is a beautiful chapter we have concluded. So with this we have completed 9th chapter of Pañcadaśi. So we should now start next month, hopefully. We will start 10th chapter, Nataka Deepa Prakarana. That is a very small chapter. It has only 26 verses, not more than that. It has got 26 verses. That is called Nataka Deepa Prakarana. That we will study. It may take 5-6 days, 5 days or so. We shall study that also, or more than that. We don't know. So for today, we'll conclude here. And with this, 9th chapter, Dhyana Deepa Prakarana of Pañcadaśi is completed. Thank you all. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you all. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om.